Hi everyone, this is Nate with another Backcountry beer review. Today, I'm on a 3-day backpacking trip in the Pecos wilderness, and right now is actually the first night. I'm camped at a pair of unnamed lakes right below Trailrider's wall, which is the big massive just behind me. The beer I'm reviewing today is by Schneider Weisse in Kelheim, Germany, and it's their Aventinus Weizen Doppelbock. So, it's like late-ish summer right now, it's early August, but I do plan on this video to air on the last day of summer. And one thing I wanted to do since lager summer, hashtag lager summer, is coming to a close, is I wanted to highlight a lager style beer that was something that's a little friendlier towards colder weather. Something that you could snuggle up under the covers and sip it while you're by the fire, maybe watching your favorite Halloween or Christmas movie. And, you know, obviously a cool, crisp, refreshing lager doesn't always fit that bill, right? They kind of, once it gets a little cooler, they lose their appeal. I think that this Weizen Doppelbock really hits that mark. Now, I will say that there's a little bit of an asterisk on this beer. They do say on the can that it's an ale, which I don't really understand. I've always read that Doppelbocks were top fermenting lager yeast, you know, and I don't really know why they say that it's an ale, but for my purposes today, it's a lager. Now, I don't really know too much about Schneider Weisse. You know, I've actually had a few of their beers. Basically, what happened one day was I was thinking about beer styles that I didn't really like and thinking, you know what, I want to try to see if I can drink the right beers and learn to like this style. And one of them is Weissens or Hefeweizens, pretty much any kind of like wheat forward German style beer. Never really did it for me. I picked up on a lot of notes that I didn't like with the ones I had, and that kind of turned me off the whole style. So I went to my local liquor store and I just bought every Weizen that they had that was from Germany. And this was one of them. And when I tasted it, I just thought it was amazing. I said, you know, this has completely changed my opinion on the style. Even if this is the only one I like, I will no longer say that I do not like Weissens. I don't like Hefeweizens. So let's open this beer up and give it a taste. It is time for a sip. The first thing I really get is kind of typical for this style. It's really, really ripe banana. I mean, like so ripe, like it's turning black on your counter, the fruit flies are getting to it, and you gotta make banana bread out of it. It is just this potent, intense banana flavor. I'm also getting the other typical notes, right? Clove, allspice. I'm getting a little bit of cinnamon. Those are notes that I think, it's like these spices that kind of turn your mouth numb when you eat them in concentrated form. That's what I always think of when I think of that group of spices, but it is kind of in line with the cold weather, the fall theme, the winter theme, right? Those are typical baking spices for dishes that you would have in those seasons. I'm also getting a little bit of maple syrup, and kind of, I would almost say that the flavor is reminiscent of like Belgian waffles with banana coins drizzled with syrup, right? It's like, it's evoking that meal to me very distinctly, which is sort of funny. As the beer kind of moves into the second third, that's where I'm getting these rich, dried, syrupy fruit notes. Something like date, red grape, raisin, right? I'm getting those thick fruit, rich, syrupy flavors. And it's actually kind of rounded out with a little bit of nuttiness as well. I don't know how I would describe it, maybe pine nuts. It's just nothing in particular, but definitely a little bit of nuttiness. Ultimately, it's a really delicious, well-rounded beer. It's one of my favorite beers now. It's a great treat. It's a little heavy on the alcohol. It costs a little, I mean, it is an imported high alcoholic beer, but it's worth it if you get the chance to try it. I would definitely, as the days are getting cooler, as they hopefully are on, you know, September 20th or 21st or whatever, as the days are getting cooler, this is definitely a beer that you should have in your fridge and have on that first day when the weather drops and it gets a little chilly and you want a beer and you're like, oh, what's this? I think I'll try it. That's gonna be it for me. Cheers, and have a backcountry beer for me. It's time for a sip. Okay. Just have my notes. It's time for a sip.